Hey guys, I hope you all enjoyed your Christmas, but today we are back talking about Skyblock, and I want to talk about pets, but specifically the supposed best pet, which is the Ender Dragon pet. However, I do not think it is the best pet. Now, it is and it isn't. Now, I know I sound very contradicting when I say that. It does provide you, the best combat stats in the game, which does make it very valuable. As you can clearly see, I get 10 crit chance, 50 crit damage, and 90 strength. However, for pet perks itself, very rarely are you fighting mobs in the end. So unless you're fighting the Ender Dragon or something, that perk is pretty useless. The second perk, where it buffs the AOTD again, nowadays people have no reason to be using that anymore since it's been outclassed. So again, that's kind of a wasted perk. But the third perk, where it increases all your stats by 10%, is very massive and pretty much the main reason why this pet is good. Well, it's also because of its base stats. But why do I think it's not the best pet? Well, pretty much the start of this was when they released the Mythological Ritual event, where they introduced the Griffin pet. Now, if we could use the E-Drag pet, I'm sure that content would be a lot easier since you do take a lot of damage, and surprise, surprise, the E-Drag gives you 10% all stats. So it buffs your defense, your HP, along with your other stats as well, which is very beneficial. But we are forced to use the Griffin in that situation. And I have a suspicion going forward, if they introduce new content like that, they're going to make it pet oriented. So you'll need this specific pet to do this specific content. And I think the Griffin was kind of a test for that, if you know what I mean. Since we already have skilling pets, one for pretty much each, skill for the most part. Not all of them, but where we might, I don't know. And there's also the recent rework to Tigers. So this may be something might be done with this as well, because the Frosty buff is fairly massive. But Griffin, I think, is the start of them adding pets for doing specific content. Now, we have Rev 5 coming out soon, which we don't know when it's coming. It's probably coming after the mining update, which is coming early January. So there's probably going to be a new pet release with that boosts your mining and other stuff that you're going to need there. So, there's going to be a lot of less situations to be using this pet, sadly. Now, I do hope one day they introduce, like a new zone or, anything like that where we can get some more mileage for E-Drag. But there's not many situations that you get to use this, sadly. And to me, that is very disappointing because it is a very expensive, pet. It's a lot cheaper now than it was when it first came out, but it's still very expensive and it's hard to justify buying it if you can't use it in, everywhere, right? You can say the same thing about Hyperion, but the E-Drag is just like the E-Drag. I think this is will always be like a status thing, and it is a really great pet. Don't let me, talk myself out of it. It is great. If you want one, definitely pick one up. But as I said, I do feel like they'll keep introducing pets, to go with content, like the Wither Skeleton pet. They changed this up, so now it's, really good against Withers. And hey, look, we have floor 7 dungeon, which is a Wither boss. So, this thing is really helpful against it, for example. And we get the Griffin pet for that. And, any content we get going forward, heck, probably even Rev 5 would be like, hey, you gotta use this. You gotta use the ghoul or the zombie pet to fight the content. And, I think a lot of people would definitely see them pulling that stun. I think it would be kind of cool since it would give uses to those pets since, ghoul, you see this and it's really, really bad. So them reworking this to where it's required for a 5 and give some good boosts, I think would be very cool. And, also the mining update, which is coming up. But again, we'll find out when that's released. Again, for both of them. Hopefully it's in both in January, so we have a lot to do this month. Either way, I think that pretty much covers what I want to talk about. It's very expensive, so maybe don't fall into the trap of buying one since you can definitely, get out getting like a Wither Skeleton or some of these other pets. You only really need this if you, maybe want to go like super hard in Slayers or, not even, you really don't need this pet anymore, pretty much. Unless you're fighting, dragons all day, then sure, go get it. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, maybe think about leaving a like on the video. It really helps, and maybe subscribing. I do plan on covering the updates that are coming in January, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, I will catch you guys next time. Take care, guys. Bye.